take a moment to say the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Following DCMS Eagle Scholars had their poems and short stories accepted to be showcased at the Maryland Arts Festival on April 16th. Thank you to Mrs. Lane for encouraging our young writers. Please join all of us in the DCMS community in celebrating our amazing Eagle authors. DCMS students and staff, make sure you are building time in your virtual learning schedule to explore vocabulary.com. Mrs. Bell is excited to host our March Challenge and will be sponsoring prizes for students who have the most words mastered and teachers whose classes have the most words mastered at the end of the month. Get to vocabulary.com.
Attention 6th and 7th graders. Do you want to be college ready? Would you like to have more confidence and take more advanced classes? Do you need some help with organization? Or would you like to grow as a leader? We are now accepting applications to be a part of the DCMS AVID family for the 2021-22 school year. All you have to do is visit your grade level Schoology page and view the informational presentation with a parent or guardian and complete the application. Once your application is submitted, we will reach out to your teachers for a recommendation. Come be a part of a class that will inspire you to dream big.
Our next DCMS Student Council fundraiser at Sweet Frog will take place on Wednesday, April 21st and last all day. Stop by the Sweet Frog in Rosedale, show them the flyer on your phone, and a portion of the evening's proceeds will go directly to our school. Is there anything sweeter than giving back? I have a little house in which I live all alone. It has no doors or windows, and if I want to go out, I must break through the wall. What am I? The answer to this Smarticus question was a chicken and egg. Congratulations to Stephanie Avila Peralta, Alicia Conway, Adrian Holmes, Gabby Linder, Tyler Rohn, Ivan Morris, and Gloria Bongo for getting it correct. Your Eagle Bucks have been added to the Eagle Buck Bank.
It is time for I Am Smarticus. When you find out the answer to the question that follows, message Muzhill, and if your answer is correct, your name will be added to the wall of Smarticuses.
What woman was the first American race car driver to win the Indy 300 in 2008?
Think, think, think. Think, think, think. Think, think, think. Got to think, 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 think.
To celebrate April as School Library Month, we're going to introduce you to some of the great books currently waiting for you in our Deep Creek Eagle's Nest, and that were recommended by our own DCMS teachers. So sit back, relax, watch the book trailer, and check this book out from our Destiny catalog or the Baltimore County Public Library.
The title and the cover, I came up with neither. I didn't come up with the title. Let me be honest, I suck at titles. Now, in grad school, when I was working on Genesis Begins Again, the title that I gave it was The End of the World. Why? Because every middle schooler feels like, when something happens, it is the end of the world. And then it didn't work out. And through another revision, I wrote, she had this great list of things that she didn't like about herself. The title was 101 Reasons Why I Hate Myself. And then someone said, oh my goodness, that's just way too sad, way too morbid. And then it was just nothing. I couldn't come up with a good idea. And when I got an agent is someone who helps you sell the book. So I got an agent and she said, okay, let's change, let me give you a title. and she gave me Genesis Rising. We weren't really happy with it because there's so many risings, Tiger Rising, Phoenix Rising, so many risings. She helped me sell the book, and when the contract came back, on it said Genesis Begins Again. So the publisher gave it a title and didn't even ask me, and I was like, okay, we'll go with it. But it worked so well, didn't it? And the cover, I didn't even get any input. They sent me a picture and said, here's the cover. Don't you love it? We love it. And I was like, yeah. So I gave my input. I loved it, and that's what they went with. I wish I had some input. I'm not sure how I would do it though. But it worked out. Are any of the characters based on the real people? What you do not see is that my daughter is staring at me. My college-age daughter. And I like to say, and she, Nia is a little bit of my daughter. And what you didn't know is that Nia was homeschooled and my daughter was homeschooled. My daughter had these long, beautiful locks, and she embraced herself, and that was a process. And she loves music, so a lot of Nia was my daughter. Now, was anything based off, people want to know this question a lot. I used a lot of names that was familiar with me growing up, and somehow that helped me to connect with the character. Although they weren't the people. For instance, I knew a girl named Belinda. I had a crush on a boy named Troy in middle school who did have muscles, but it wasn't the Troy that's in the story, okay? I used my mom's middle name. So I use names, not necessarily people. And people also ask, is Genesis me? I want to be clear. I probably used a lot of me and how I felt as a middle schooler being bullied, and that is true that someone did. Two girls, one named Angela, I can't remember the other girl, wrote a list of 100 reasons why they hated Alicia, and they gave it to me. So that was based on real life, but was Genesis me? Genesis wasn't me because I am not that courageous. I wasn't that courageous as Genesis. I would have never done some of the things that Genesis said or spoken up. So I wish I was as brave as Genesis. And if it was just about me, it'd be a lot less exciting. I'm pretty boring. Oh, and the grandmother character, my family says, oh, she's just like my grandmother, who is not with us any longer. But that granny, I guess you could say she's not the same because she didn't have the whole tradition of the brown bag. But the mannerisms, the snapping, my granny could snap, but she was also lovable. Genesis was brave to speak to her parents. So how can I be brave to speak to my parents? That's a good question. In the story, Genesis does go through a lot, and she makes a lot of bad decisions, but she made decisions, right? And one of those decisions was to speak up, even if she knew that it was going to cause some damage and get her father in trouble. She even spoke up to her mom. What can you do if you're in a situation that you want to speak to your parents and don't know how? This is important to me because my daughter felt the same way. And there's something that occurred that I didn't even recognize. So I want to say to you, if you need to speak to your parents, please do. Parents are so busy sometimes paying the bills, taking care of the house and working and cooking when they come, that they don't see that you really need to talk to them. So you need to get their attention. And I'm asking you to be brave, just like Genesis.
We all have those moments when we freeze. We can't move. We can't think. But with practice, we can get good at melting that frozen feeling. Let's freeze up and then melt. Stand up in a spot with a little space around you. Cross your arms and hold your shoulders with your hands. Carefully tuck your chin down and in. Tighten as many muscles in your body as you can. Let your body be frozen, like an ice statue. Feet tight, legs tense, belly tight, shoulders up. Now, even make a frozen face. close your eyes, your mouth, your jaw tight. Feeling frozen? Really still? Now little by little, begin to melt. Let your chin stay low as your face softens and melts. Your jaw opens slightly, your eyes blink open, just a little. Your mouth and cheeks melt and feel soft. You're melting. Let your shoulders melt and go down. Hands let go. Arms glide down to your sides, melting. Let your legs melt too. Soften and bend. Melt. Try to melt all the way to the floor. Down, down, down. Let yourself be a blob, a puddle on the floor. Melted all the way to soft. Exhale long. Once frozen and tight, and now melted, a little more at ease. Let's do it again. This time, choose your own frozen statue. Be creative. Freeze your arms. Freeze your legs. Freeze your face. Make a funny face if you'd like. Freeze there. Tighten. Freeze, freeze, freeze. You're frozen. Close your eyes or keep them open. Stay frozen for just one more moment. Ready to melt? One icy part of you at a time begins to melt. Face, eyes, jaw, head, chin goes down, shoulders drop, fingers soften and droop, hands too, arms float down. You are melting. Let your legs allow you to melt down to the floor. Melt, 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 droop, settle, and rest. Melted. Try to feel at ease here. Soft. Check in on your body. Is any area still frozen? Notice that tightness. Melt it if you wish. Rest here. Breathe. Eyes are open or closed. Next time you feel frozen, in your mind or in your body, try to melt it away.